guys. I hope you are all doing fantastically well. Hearts to all of you. Thank you for coming to watch, supporting esports, checking out the Dreamhack streams. And it looks like the countdown is on the way, guys. Jimpo versus Snute. It's going to be happening. This is Dreamhack EIZO. Alright guys, spawning over here in the bottom right corner of Dreamhack Shakura's Plateau. Our Terran player, the guy who can pull any strategy out of a hat. Will he be able to do anything in this game? He's up against a very tough opponent, but my goodness is he capable. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our resident GM Terran. It is Jimpo. And over here in the top left spawning location as the red Zerg. Incredibly strong macro player. Very, very solid grounding on all fronts. Will a chink in his armor be found in game number 1? Or will he be able to take it? Let's find out, guys. It's going to be Gamers League Snute. Alright guys, this is an absolutely amazing match. I was so happy when I saw this, that I was streaming this game. Really, really happy. These two players are of course very high caliber. I've seen these guys play so much before. And we're definitely gonna get a good series here. There is absolutely no question about that. Overlord now going to be going to the close by air position in case Jimpo spawns here. Of course, either of these spawn locations possible as far as Snute is concerned, and similarly for Jimpo, either of these spawn locations on the left-hand side of the map are also possible for him. He is going to be going for that barracks first wall off, and we don't actually see a gas being taken, so this is possibly indicative. Hang on, never mind. We do have the gas being taken. I only said that 10 seconds too early, so we're going to see bread and butter coming out of Jimpo here. Normal Terran build, barracks, then gas. He's not going to be going for a super early expansion, one racks expander, anything like that. And it looks like Snute has opted for the hatchery with no pool down yet. We often see Snute, especially against Protoss, get a pool first just to get some links out and get some map control before you expand up. But against Terran, this isn't necessarily that important as long as you scout correctly and make sure there's no horrific marine bunker pressure or makaraks everywhere or anything like that. And it looks like Snute is going to get a little glimpse of what Jimpo is doing. Really though, he wants to be running that away and just checking out to see what the gas situation is like. No, Snute's actually not going to do that at all, and Jimpo's just going to complete the wall off. He did see that there was a marine incoming but not out yet from the racks, and Jimpo is going to get a nice good look at everything Snute currently has to offer. Overlord now in the top position, of course, seeing that there's nothing there, so he's going to be going all the way across to the edge of the map, as you see from that waypoint, and going to be popping across behind the natural, so we can see the timing on this natural, and possibly also any hidden tech on the low ground here. That's what the Overlord is pathing to do. And it looks like a bunker attempting to go down here from Jimpo. I don't think it's going to work, though. There are a lot of drones here, and oh, will the SCV go down? The SCV goes down, and that's going to be that. The Marine doesn't even hang around to try and kill a drone. I think the Marine probably should have hung around to try and get a single or maybe 2 drone kills. But Jimpo not going to be able to do anything with this fake bunker pressure. And the reason why I say it's a fake bunker pressure, there is only one barracks out on the field. He does not have a second racks. He was not really all-inning with that or anything like that at all. He's just going to be getting that reactor, getting that factory, and swapping over to reactor to Hellions. This is about as Terran bread and butter as you can get. Meanwhile, speed not yet started for Snute. He does have, no, he has no gas at the moment. That would be why. So he is looking to get his gas super late. He just wants to try and defend statically here. We have a spine crawler go up. I wonder if he'll see a second one once he knows that the Hellions are incoming. He sees the reacted factory. And will we see a second spine crawler, or does he think he can defend this only with queens? We'll have to find out momentarily, but he really wants to get that creep spread going as soon as possible so that the Hellions don't deny everything. Look at this spread on the Zerglings. One of the things Snute does really, really well with his play is his map awareness. If I just take a look at his vision for a second, he sees so much of the map, it's actually unreal. Everything except Jimpo's base is basically currently covered by Snute. He is really, really well with his map perception, and these Overlords are going to pop by over the high ground areas as well, just to make sure no sneaky things happen, and this Overlord actually going to pop by via the bottom to make sure no drop play comes out as well. Just really thorough scouting from Snute. The kind of thing you really expect from very, very high-level players. And here we go. Roach Warren now, a Spinecrawler and 2 Queens going to attempt the wall up here, and the Hellions are indeed going to be driven back. There are only 2 of them. He can't try and power past and still expect to get a decent number of drone kills. Hellions number 3 and 4 are also now going to join the party, but I don't think they'll be able to do anything other than attempt to stop creep spread. There's a creep tumor up here, and he does get it. So Snute getting his active creep tumor spotted there. This one could potentially ninja its way over to the left-hand side, but it looks like Jimpo is all on top of that. He knows exactly what Snute's trying to do there. These guys, of course, have played each other quite a few times indeed. So in the meantime, speed finally starting for Snute, getting that gas incredibly late, but of course allowing him to get the minerals up that are required to get this many queens and a Spinecrawler. Look at this, walling off with basically queens here. This is a very, very cool play coming out from Snute. If you have more queens, of course, once the Hellions stop patrolling around or you decide to push out onto the low ground, you're just going to have so much energy for those creep tumors as well, and that's going to allow Snute to really explode in as far as economy goes. Because he's going to have the creep spread very, very far out. He's not going to have to build too much static defense, and he can just worry about what Jimpo's building as opposed to what Jimpo is sending into his base. But what has Jimpo got planned behind this? We do have a tech lab researching stim and combat shield, which means that this starport is not going to be put on that tech lab. Is this a tech lab? No, it's a reactor as well. So that means another reactor going up on the factory. These buildings are going to swap. The starport is probably going to go on the reactor, and we're going to see some medevacs come out of him unless he wants to build another... Yeah, that... Otherwise, he would have just lifted the factory and landed it to build another reactor on it, which doesn't make too much sense. But we will wait and see. We do have a small skirmish going on over here. Some Roach is going to be able to pick off a Hellion. A couple more now. Going to be able to... And look at this creep spread. This is what I was talking about, guys. We have creep tumors everywhere on the map. And Snute is going to feel sufficiently comfortable now with his army composition, because Roaches, of course, do very well against Hellions, to take a third base, and this creep spread is going to explode very, very quickly indeed. A pair of medevacs are now coming out from that starport, which has in fact gone onto the reactor as predicted, and the factory does not have an add-on. It looks like Jimpo is going to go for pure bio this game. We have a 1 tech lab just for those upgrades for the Marines, and 2 reactors on those racks. So he is looking to really crank out these upgrades for the Marines. The problem is, he's not actually cranking anything out from an engineering bay. Does he even have an engineering bay at the moment? No, he does not. He is going to be getting 2 of them right this minute. So will that be able to be enough to thwart Snute's army composition? This is looking like a pretty serious army. Let's take a look at the army supply. Snute has a marginally larger army, but Jimpo definitely has the army composition that he wants. Snute might want to consider grabbing a couple more Roaches. Oh no, 2 Queens trapped out in the middle of the field. Will Snute use them to fight, or will he try and run them away? And Overlord going to be a victim here over here. And there we... Oh wow, so many creep tumors exposed by that scan. Will the Marines be able to get it? It looks like Snute is trying to get in position. Not every creep tumor gets taken out though. And he sees the third. Snute trying to engage here, but not getting the best angle at the bottom of his own ramp. These Zerglings are going to get roasted pretty quick. Where are the Roaches? We need more Roaches with this composition, and Snute is just about holding on, but this third hatchery is looking very, very dangerous indeed, and inject just to get a couple more larvae from it in case it dies, and we need more to pop out. And it looks like Snute is finally going to engage. He needs more units, though. I don't actually think this will be enough. 4 Queens! 4 Queens are going to go down here. 3 Queens have gone, and Jimpo is looking like he's in a very good position indeed. So many of these Marines on red health at the moment. The medevac itself with very little energy, and it looks like these Lings might be able to clean some of it up, and he picks up what he can, but leaves the rest. Jimpo with a very, very nice attack there into the third base, able to just about snipe it out. And no counterattack damage able to be done against the main here, but he is, oh my god, going to try Snute with the mass Baneling into the wall. But does he have the Speedling follow-up? He does! The Speedlings are going to be popping in here, and what is Jimpo's defense looking like? A tank that does not have siege mode. Siege mode not yet done. It's going to take another 30 seconds before it completes, and the bust is definitely going to be done by then. Here we go, straight into the bunker, and oh my goodness, we have engagement at the natural expansion. Snute with the counterattack is going to be able to do a decent amount of damage to Jimpo here. Force him to try and re-wall off. All those SCVs are being pulled. He didn't actually lose too many of them, though. Jimpo's unit control there was pretty good. Only 2 workers killed. But Snute really keeping Jimpo in check there, saying, look, if that's what you want to do, I can do it too. Back off. And really, really well played there by Snute. Will he be going for a follow-up? It looks like he is indeed going for a follow-up. We could be seeing a lot more Banelings come in here. Siege mode, luckily, has now finished for Jimpo. So Snute's follow-up Baneling Bust wouldn't be that effective unless he puts some Zerglies in front to absorb that splash damage while the Banelings head behind. It then becomes a battle of micro. It looks like a drop attempted here at the third base, but Snute completely on top of it, sending Lings after that medevac and going to be retaking his third hatch as well. And this forward location has also been taken, so Snute aiming to go up to 4 bases, and Jimpo is currently on 2. In the long run, that is going to be very, very difficult for him. And look at this map awareness from Snute. No fewer than 4 units are going to see this medevac as it pops by. Oh my goodness, he basically has full vision of that medevac coming in, and I suspect... Come on, Snute. I'm sure Snute saw that. Let's take a look. He definitely sees it now if he didn't see it before. Is he going to be racing some units back? And oh no, has he not noticed this? This is very uncharacteristic of Snute. He is normally very on top of stuff like this, and he definitely notices now, pulling all the drones away as these Marines get to work in the main base. If Snute doesn't notice it, he needs to be able to do as much damage as possible. Does Jimpo, doing a great job. Nice, sandwiching himself between the 2 hatcheries to minimize surface area, and then picking up when needs be. This medevac is going to get away with all 8 Marines. Very, very nice play there, and you can see he's moving out to the corner to make Snute think that he's going to drop another base, but he's actually got it rallied all the way back here, as we do see a little bit of goop being spread over here at the third base location, the forward third base location, should I say. And it looks like Snute now knows exactly where Jimpo wants to expand, and that could be huge as well. The drop now coming back into the main base. Will Snute be able to defend against it this time? I suspect so, but oh my goodness, he's losing a number of drones. Snute really not paying attention to these drops that are popping by in the back of his base. He has got pathogen glands coming up, though, as well as melee attacks level 2 and burrow, so he's going to be able to infester these medevacs away in just a sec, but 2 medevacs are now in the top left corner, and as a result... Snute is going to be intently focused on that, but now Jimpo is going to be trying to push on the other end of the creep. He's pushing dangerously close to this 4th base, though. Will he be targeting the 4th down, or will he be trying to go straight for the natural or the 3rd? We'll have to wait and see, but no doubt, as soon as he sees an army commitment here from Snute out into the middle of the map, he will be moving those medevacs into the back of the main base again. What has he got behind him? He has more siege tanks, more Marines. These double ups doing very well for him, researching 2-2 now. Things are looking pretty hunky-dory back home for Jimpo, and getting more reactors on those barracks. I like that decision as well as an additional factory in case he wants more siege. Oh my goodness, he might be transitioning into mech at this rate. 2 factory siege tanks, and we're getting a 3rd one as well off of 2 bases. 3rd one, just starting to mine here. Look at all those mules freshly dropped for your convenience. So Jimpo here at 152 supply to 144. Let's take a quick look at the worker tab guide. 97 drones for Snute versus 66 for Jimpo, and that's going to mean that Jimpo's army supply is actually pretty decent at the moment compared to Snute. Snute has to really be smart about his engagements if he wants to get away with this, because the supplies are nearly even, but he has so many more drones. Let's see if he can do anything about it. We do have the tank siege up in a backward position, though. I think these Marines are slightly out of position. They're not covered by too much siege tank fire. About a 3rd of them go down to those Banelings in the opening salvo, and that's not going to matter too much just yet, because Snute will at least have an opportunity to defend this 3rd hatchery. Or is he actually going to let it go? Oh my goodness, Jimpo doing a tremendous job in game number 1. Snute just all over the place. He's worried about these drops in the main. We can see the medevac there just about getting cleaned up, but he was so focused on dealing with that he didn't send his units down here particularly quickly at all, and it looks like Jimpo is going to survive with the majority of his tanks intact. The 3rd base does go down. He does not yet know about the 4th being constructed. All the drones huddled up here waiting to be able to mine, and now Snute has to perform a very, very solid hold if he wants to take control of this game. The army supply, as I accidentally disabled the sound, is now 87 to 52 in Jimpo's favor. So that's going to be huge for Jimpo, and I'm wondering what Snute is going to do. He's actually moving all his drones up here to the top right just to avoid them being killed. But the income is, wow, it's actually still higher for Snute. I'm very, very impressed here. Doing a very good job of trying to keep his opponent down. But I don't really... Oh, that's because the 4th base just came back online, of course. But the thing is, this army is almost untouchable from Jimpo. Snute needs to try and pick off these siege tanks before engaging the Marines, because the splash damage is going to do so much, and it looks like the Roach Warren is now being targeted. Snute is going to be forced to do something soon. He has Speedlings and Banelings up here on the high ground. Does he have additional units? We need to see more infestors with this. I swear I saw pathogen glands a little bit earlier. But never mind. It looks like Jimpo's actually going to be heading home. We did indeed see pathogen glands earlier. Another macro hatch going out in the main. So we have 3 hatcheries going up in the main, and that's a very wise decision. If you're losing hatcheries at your other bases, you want to get as many larvae as possible. If you get larva starved, then the game's just going to get worse and worse for you. So if you want to get additional hatcheries there, that would be useful for him indeed. But Jimpo going to be, oh my goodness, how many drones have been killed in this game so far? Jimpo just so good with his drop play. It's like Cloud versus Madalisk in that last best of 3 series we saw. saw. Another 2 Marines going to be heading up. Snute, so good with his map control and just being able to see what's coming, but he's just not dealing it as effectively as we normally see him do. He sees all these drops coming, but he needs to deal with them before they get to the base. We want to see some fungal growths. We need to see him do something to dissuade these drops from occurring. And as it currently stands, I think Jimpo is doing a tremendous job of trying to drop all of the places at once. We do have this medevac completely covered, though, by these Lings and a Baneling there. Oh no, I hope he doesn't drop. If he starts dropping, oh dear, he was on auto command. And unfortunately, this drop is going to get very, very cleaned up. Jimpo realizing halfway through there, saving 4 of those Marines, not too shabby, as he is going to be moving towards his forward location. He sees there is no hatchery there. He's going to have to move back towards the 3rd and 4th, and this is always a lot more dangerous. Mainly because there are 3 frickin' Baneling landmines here, but also very dangerous because this is a much more open position for him to attack, which is why Jimpo is just going to elevator himself into the 4th base here. I really like that. Look at these siege tanks siege on the low ground here. They're going to be able to do so much damage to these Zergers. Look at that. These Zergers get cleaned up so quickly. Not very efficient there compared to normal for Snute. That's because these siege tanks are in such good location at the moment. We do actually have a run by into the 4th base as well of Jimpo, and only a few Lings actually getting in. Some of those Lings automatically attacking that siege tank there, which is probably not the correct decision. And Jimpo putting on the pressure now. He has 175 to 135 supply up, and Jimpo looking like he might be able to take game number 1 here from Snute. Still 2 Marines in the mineral line, taking out so many drones. Snute not doing anything about it at the moment, and we do have a couple of Queens being popped out in the natural, along with some Lings here. They do force the siege tank supply, but these 2 Marines, 4 kills and 8 kills. Very, very good job, and another drop just about being safe. Oh my goodness, look at that hero Marine there holding out against the drones in the 3rd base location. So much damage is being done by Jimpo right now. Let's take a look at the workers killed tab. 36 workers killed this game versus the 26 from Snute. So really, really well played by our Terran, just continuing to multitask and forcing his opponent to go basically every which direction at once here. And now finally we have the Infestor in the middle of the map, but oh no, the siege tanks actually get a decent amount done, and the scan just about sees them, but no, 2 Infestors are going to get away. Nice fungal there. The medevacs are lagging behind a bit, so another good fungal or 2 will kill an awful lot of these Marines, but does Snute have the Infestors? He is 1 on the top of the ramp. Here we go. Nice fungal. The medevacs are nowhere to be seen. A lot of those Marines are about to immediately kick the bucket, and a scan going down to take care of that Infestor. Roach Warren now going down 170 to 145 supply now. Can Snute hold on, or is this going to be game for Jimpo? Marines moving up the ramp. We do have more medevacs behind, gonna try and heal up here, but the tanks are now sieged on the low ground. Jimpo has a foothold in Snute territory now, and there just aren't enough Infestors. He needs more fungal growth. He just needs more units in general. Not enough Roaches, not enough Zerglings, and it looks like Jimpo is going to be taking game number 1. He now has a 60 supply lead. He's going back to try and deal with these Queens, unsieging the tanks so they do more DPS. Every Queen goes down. And Snute, unfortunately, is now in basically an unrecoverable position. Excellent fungal, though! My goodness, is Snute fighting until the end? Those beautiful fungal goes all of a sudden. It is tanks only, no more Marines, but the problem is these tanks are unsieged. They're not going to be doing splash damage against themselves. And as a result, I think Jimpo is going to be able to he's actually reinforcing to try and send drops up into the main base to pull Jimpo every which way as well. He's done such a good job of that this game so far. Why not try and do it again? Picking up some of the tanks in the medevac there. GG from Snute. Jimpo's multitasking, getting the better of Snute in game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness, what an incredible game. We're going to wait and see what Snute chooses for map number 2 shortly. Beautiful game there from Jimpo. We'll be right back. I am JoRoSaR. We'll play a couple of commercials, and then we'll get straight into game 2. Don't go anywhere.